Welcome to DBL. I am Tori. I'm in for Sam. It's good to see all of you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you. And of course the boys.
Yes, all right. Good
All
to see
right.
you too, Tori.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes, my girl.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, let's talk.
Complimenting us, Al.
I was.
Al took it as like he's like, hey. Right back at you.
I got him. All right, demand for new weight loss drug has skyrocketed. So nearly half of U.S. adults are interested in them, according to a recent poll. Turns out, though, one thing you may not know, you cannot keep losing weight forever on these drugs. So to help us get to the bottom of this and more health headlines, we've got Dr. Kohli with us. Welcome, Dr. Kohli.
Yes, Dr. Kohli, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Right.
Good. So let's talk about this, what's being called Ozempic plateau. Is it real, and why do people stop losing the weight?
You know, it's 100% real. And what it means is that after you've been on the drug for a while, you'll hit a wall. You'll stop losing weight. You'll plateau on your weight loss. Now, how quickly you get to that plateau varies from person to person, and what that plateau looks like varies from person to person. So diabetics, for example, don't lose as much weight on Ozempic as non-diabetic patients. So some people will lose a bunch, others will lose less, but on average, it's about 15% weight loss. But the reason it happens is because our body is designed to fight weight loss. We sort of evolved in a way to keep us alive, right? And if our body is losing weight, it's breaking down tissues. Our metabolism kind of fights back. So Ozempic tricks our metabolism for a little while, but eventually it sort of settles out, reaches a steady state.
A little plateau, a mesa, if you will. Now, if you still need to lose more weight, how do I break through this plateau?
Yeah, there are tricks and things you can do. So you want to talk to your doctor about whether you can go up to a higher dose, right? Because then you start that fight again with your metabolism. You trick it again with a higher dose, and then it comes to that new set point, almost like adjusting your thermostat down a little bit more. If you're already on the highest dose, then you think about switching to a different drug, kind of a new and improved Ozempic. There's one called Mounjaro, which results in even more weight loss. There's another one sort of being developed called retatrutide that'll be coming probably in a year or two. That could get you to lose up to 25%, a quarter of your body weight. Yes.
Wow.
And so all of these drugs are looking very promising.
I know.
Is that good?
Well, this is the question. You know, you said nearly half of Americans are interested in this, and I have patients every day ask me about this. And I think us as physicians are extremely excited about the prospect of fighting obesity, which is an epidemic. But at the same time, we want to make sure we don't take it too far. That pendulum doesn't swing in a direction where long-term effects have not yet been studied. So.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm no doctor. That's why you're here. So.
But he is right there.
Yeah. Al, and he questioned it. He's questioning science. That guy. All right.
Again,
so
not a
some
real doctor.
psychiatrists,
Okay.
exactly, are prescribing weight loss drugs to counter side effects from certain antidepressants. So it's kind of like you're chasing a drug with another drug. To me, it doesn't math up. But again, I'm not a doctor like you and Al.
Yeah, you know, do you like to cook, Jeff?
I love it.
So if you need a little more salt, you need a little more basil, you kind of taste it and you customize it for your patient. So I'm not so afraid of the concept. We do this in medicine all the time. We mix and match drugs to try to get the outcome for our patient. We give them a medicine to lower their cholesterol, it raises their blood sugar. We counteract that with another medicine. What worries me about doing it with Ozempic is that in psychiatric patients, which are patients that have depression or anxiety or other illnesses, I don't know that it's safe to do this. Ozempic may have a signal for self-harm. They may have a signal for suicidal thoughts. And now you're giving psych patients to counteract the weight gain this medication that could push them over the edge. So it just hasn't been studied.
My quick pushback real fast is we keep prescribing medication for each individual's person's whatever they have, right? Again, I know there's certain outlining circumstances. Isn't the best medicine maybe get out and exercise and get out and walk? It's good for your mental health. It's good for your overall health. Eat a little better. Why are we keep inventing new medications to push instead of just pushing what already works?
I think you're making an excellent point. Food, exercise, and lifestyle, sleep are always the first best medicine. But these medicines are for patients, Jeff, who
that are on the outlier. Gotcha.
The ones that have pathology or disease, where the lifestyle isn't cutting it. It's not their fault. It's not a character flaw. They're trying their best, but they're just not.
It's becoming trendy is kind of what my point is. But yeah, sorry.
That's a fair point.
Well, Doc, I'm going to ask you about something that, I thought was a good thing, drinking water. Until earlier this week, obviously we covered the story about Brooke Shields. She said she drank so much water, that she had a stroke. So is this a thing? Because I thought I was proud of myself for drinking a lot of water, but is it too much?
It's Goldilocks.
Excuse me, not a stroke.
It's Goldilocks, Al. You have to have the right amount of water. Okay, so of course, not drinking enough water is bad for our kidneys, it's bad for our health, it's bad for lots of different things. But too much water can actually cause water intoxication or water poisoning. I saw a case of this in medical school. It was a young woman who came in, she was doing a cleanse, and I think she had seen it on social media or something, where she was just drinking water after water after water, and what she did was dilute out the salt in her blood. She diluted out all the electrolytes, and so all the cells, including the cells in her brain, swelled up, and that's what caused her to have a seizure. So it can be very dangerous, and people ask, what is that right amount of water? More than 6 cups an hour is where you start getting into that. So it's not just the amount of water, but it's the rapidity with which you consume it, because you can imagine water absorbs really quickly in our stomach, right? So if we pound 6 or 7 cups of water an hour, we can very quickly dilute out that sodium.
Erica, you were in radio. Remember when that woman
Yes,
passed away?
it was the We for a We
Hold your We for We, yes.
Yeah, and she died of water intoxication. It was like, yeah.
Someone
tragic
recently
story.
did it too. I remember, like a mom just couldn't get enough quenched of the thirst and then passed out. So just be careful on those water fasts that I see on Instagram too. I've got a question about a trend on social media to help with insomnia. Lettuce water at bedtime, does this really help you fall asleep? And how gross is this? Let's look.
So the idea here.
Is this a joke?
No, I don't think so, but it should be. But so it's to use lettuce like tea. You sort of soak lettuce in hot water and then you drink that water. And the idea here is to use the chemicals in lettuce that could, in animal models, have been shown to be slightly sedative inducing, and use those to help you sort of fall asleep. Now, some people are adding tea or peppermint or something else to it to make the flavor taste a little bit better. But first of all,
better than dirt in the bottom of the lettuce. Okay.
So this is something we often call the nocebo effect. You think something is going to work, so it does. Right? The placebo and the nocebo effect. You think something's going to cause harm, so it does. You think something's going to work, so it does. And that's exactly what's going on here. Because this substance is a diuretic, it's a laxative, and it's a sedative, which is a terrible combination.
Yeah, because you'll get up to pee the whole night. Right.
That's right. And it's only been studied in animals in large doses. So there's no evidence at all that it works in humans. And think about the idea of drinking a large amount of water right before we go to bed, guys. I mean, that's counterintuitive, right? So the sleep experts actually say that the last 2 hours before bedtime, you should limit yourself to less than 1 glass. If you're really thirsty, like after you brush your teeth or something, you can have a little sip of water, but don't drink a whole glass of water. Don't drink chamomile tea. Don't do any of those things right before bedtime.
Wow.
Now, what does work to help you fall asleep, you talk about supplements, Jeff, magnesium supplements.
Oh,
they have a naturally inducing sedative effect. I take that sometimes too. Yeah, when I'm traveling or something like that. So they can kind of calm you down. They can help with anxiety, help you fall asleep, or magnesium-rich foods like avocados and spinach. So you can sort of trick your body into falling asleep based on what you're eating, but don't do it with the
wash it down with a little tequila. You go right to bed.
Fine.
Right out.
Oh, good.
Yes, let us remain vigilant.
Yes.
Let us remain vigilant. DBL Nation, lettuce jokes. You get them here. Be sure to follow Dr. Kohli on social media at Kohli MD. Thank you so much.